Hi, my name is Zvika, SolidCAM Vice President of Israel and Japan Sales.
And I'm Sydney, the SolidCAM Vice President for QA.
Well, this lecture will be on a very hot development.
The SolidCAM version for the machine shop setup department for the operators. So, Zvika, could you tell us about the CNC staff hierarchy in most machine shops?
Yeah, of course, Sydney. Well, the first level are the CAM programmers, who are technologists and engineers, who get the original SolidWorks model, and the role is to determine the machine strategy. They are usually well experienced with the CNC technology, the capability of the CNC machine, and the machining technology. They have the CAM system, of course, SolidCAM,
Of course.
which they program the machining process using a variety of SolidCAM operations like milling, turning, mill turn, and of course, Swiss type. And the second level in the CNC machine shop is the level of the CNC setup operators, who are responsible for getting the G-code file, the list of tools, a chart that's showing a part clamping, including the location of the arms and the positions they need for the setup. And they need to perform at the end an initial dry run, which at most cares step by step at the machine to verify that indeed the CNC program, which prepared by the programmer, is error-free, with no collision, and that the CAM part will be executed without problem and, of course, in the right dimension.
So, Zvika, what is the goal of all of this?
Well, Sydney, the goal actually is to give the setup operator the ability to control the entire program before running the machine and to understand the machining process without the dependence on the CAM programmer, who is already busy programming on the next CAM part. Sydney, what actually we do, we have today in SolidCAM 2021 for the setup department?
Well, for that, we have two powerful and easy-to-use versions. First, we have the shop floor editor, which enables the setup operator to make minor changes in the operations. The second option is the shop floor simulator that enables the operator to see and simulate the program. We'll talk all about them in depth as we go along.
Okay.
Now, Zvika, let me ask you, why does the setup operator need the shop floor editor?
Well, there are a few reasons for this, Sydney. First, change minor SolidCAM operation parameter. Sometimes, the CAM programmer is new to machining or has less experience than the machine operator. The shop floor editor gives the ability for the shop floor personnel the flexibility to make minor changes to improve the operation process. Another thing is working in shift. Sometimes the machine operator working on a different shift than the CAM programmer, or the CAM programmer is not available at the exact time to make changes. So the operator wishes to make minor changes, like for example, increase or decrease the step down for the pocket, to make some changes in the cutting conditions. So now with the shop floor editor, the setup operator can make these changes easily. And last thing is outsourcing programming, we call it.
Yes.
Yeah. Some companies are using outsource companies for the machining or a subcontractor. So instead of receiving just the G-code file and send it to machine, the machine operator can receive the CAM part, check it, do a minor changes if he need, and simulate the process before machining, thus understanding it better and making edit as needed. Sydney, please tell us what the setup operator benefits from the flow shop editor.
Well, Zvika, first, you have to modify, you have the capabilities of modifying and editing the operations.
Yes.
Also, he can change the tool table, make changes in the tool table. He can also make changes in the setup part. For example, he has a different machine now he has to work on, so now he can change also that in the setup part. He has the full machine simulation. And by full machine simulation, I mean everything, including the new SolidCAM simulator and also machine simulation. And of course, since he did make changes, he has to know that he can also be able to change the G-code, to generate a new G-code.
Fantastic. And Sidney, what can you tell us about the shop floor simulator functions?
Well, the shop floor simulator is very similar to the shop floor editor, except it has a couple more limitations. You can't do any editing. What you can do is you can view all the operations. You can view the tool table, see every single tool that you're going to work with. You can view the part setup, know the machine, and make sure it's the right machine that you're supposed to be working on. You do get to see the full simulation, the full machine simulation that we have, just like the shop floor editor. That's exactly the same thing.
Okay.
And you can also generate a G code in case, for example, you may have it may have gotten deleted from the CNC machine itself. So you can also generate a new G code and put that back on the machine.
Great, Sidney. Many managers in the factory like it very much, this machine
Definitely.
shop simulator. Okay, Sidney, let's switch now to SolidCAM to see it in live.
No problem, Svika.
Okay, Sidney, now we are in SolidCAM, yes?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so if you don't mind, please let's make some CAM programmer. Let's think you are a CAM programmer.
Oh, yes.
Okay?
I've been there, done that.
And load the CAM part and demonstrate it, and please show us what you program as a CAM programmers of SolidCAM.
Okay. Well, as you can see over here, I have on my screen, okay, I can see the exact part that I'm working on. Obviously, I did all of these programmings over here, the entire setup. I have my entire toolkit over here, everything that a programmer needs to create all the operations that he may want to do, create new operations if needed. All of this I have done already, okay? As a programmer, I can, of course, I can run my simulation. Let's say I can run my regular machine simulation, or you know, I can even run my new SolidCAM simulator. And I can even run it in a way that...
This is new in SolidCAM 2021.
This is all, yeah, this is
it's
correct.
Fantastic
this is new,
simulator, yes.
Right, I can have it as a stationary tool. Okay, by stationary tool, in other words, this tool is exactly staying in this place, and I see all the movements exactly how it's going to be on the machine.
So it's exactly simulation of the machine, how it's working in the machine.
Exactly. I can speed it up. Okay, I can. Everything I need to do is right over here.
I see a probe first,
right?
To find the on
right,
position.
and now I was slowing it down. I can even stop it. I can go backwards to see exactly what I'm machining. Everything I need is here.
Okay.
Okay, and of course, at the end of the day, I have my G code, which I've created, and now I have to just go ahead and send it to the shop floor. So I'll just go to my CAM part, send to the folder, including the machine simulation, and send that to the directory that's by the machine itself.
Okay, Sidney, now let's imagine you are the setup operator who gets the part from the programmer and use the shop floor editor. And I want to see how it works.
Okay, very simple. I'm going to use it right now as a standalone in the program. And of course, this can also be inside the integrated both in SolidCAM and in InventorCAM. And as you can see, I'm going to now load the exact same part. I'll go over here and go to CAM settings. No, but I'm going to go to browse recent parts. And I can even see the part over here on my screen.
You can see a picture of all the parts.
Exactly.
Good.
Exactly. And if I want to see the actual part, I can just go to my target, show 3D. I can see everything there is about this target. I can see all the parts, everything that the setup person needs to know how the part is supposed to look at the end.
Nice.
Okay? Now, I have all the operations over here, and I can do whatever I want. Like, for example,
yes.
Let's say I'm going to go into one of my operations, and I'm going to go into a pocket operation that I have over here. Okay? So we'll go into that pocket operation over here. And I happen to know that if I look at the tool and I look at the data, okay, the programmer, he made this actually with the knowledge that he has.
Yes.
But the knowledge that I have tells me that this particular machine that's on the shop floor is a little shaky. It's not exactly well tuned. In other words, it's a little old. The feed rates and the spin rates are not exactly the way it is. So I can make those changes right here.
So you can change the feed rate?
I can change the feed rate. I'm going to change the feed rate to, say, 1,000. And I'm going to change my spin rate even to 7,000. And of course, I can save this. Okay. Now, one other thing is what happens if a tool breaks in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's very important.
Tool breaks
It's
in the middle of the night.
happened, yes.
Okay, so let's go into my toolkit. And see that the tool that I have was a 10 millimeter tool. So I'm looking around the shop and everything like that. And the only tool that I find is a 3/8 end mill.
In inch, you mean, Sydney?
Yeah, and 3/8 inch end mill.
Okay, you need some calculator to make the calculation to
Speaker,
millimeter?
maybe you need a calculator. I don't need a calculator. SolidCAM does all of this for me. Okay?
Why? Okay.
Let me show you. First of all, I can go over here and say, swap diameter to inch. And all I have to do now over here is put in the inch value, which is 0.375, 3/8 inch. And that's all I need to do. I'll do save and exit, and that's it.
So it's a new feature in SolidCAM.
And of course, I just have to do recalculate. So I'm going to recalculate everything, and that's it. And of course, at the end of the day, since I did a recalculation, I have to create a new G-code. And I can do that as well. Just go over here, G-code, and generate a brand new G-code. Put this on the machine, and I'm ready to go.
Sydney, what about the preview of the setup?
No problem at all. Let's go into the setup itself. And we have the machine preview. If I go into my machine preview, what we can do is we see exactly how it's going to look on the machine. You can see the entire part. You can see that's a table machine. You can see exactly how the part is going to be clamped. You can see where the home position is, where the pivot point is, the spindle, everything exactly the way the machinist has to see this on the machine itself.
So it's actually a clear picture for the operator.
That is correct. Okay, I can close this. And that's basically all I need to do.
Yes? Okay, Sydney, now it was very nice. Now please show us the same CAM part with the shop floor simulator. And please explain the differences.
Okay, now I'm working with the version of a shop floor simulator. And the differences, as I mentioned before, is that the shop floor simulator only does not allow you to do any editing in the part. For example, again, I'm going to load the exact same part. And we can view it just as before. Those options I still do have. Okay?
Yes.
You can see the entire part. And if I right-click on any of the operations, you'll note that all I can do is either view it or create G-code or simulate it. Okay? I can view it, and you'll notice that when I view it, I can't do any saving over here. I can simulate, G-code, or exit.
But you can see, the operator can see everything.
That's correct. He can see all the tools that are here, the levels, everything that he expects to see on the machine, he will see it right over here.
So he can understand really how the programmers made the operations. Yeah?
That's correct. He'll know exactly what is being done. And of course, most important, he can do the simulation. And this time I'll do the simulation using the machine simulation.
Which type of machine you run?
This particular machine is a Haas UMC 750, by the way.
5-axis machine.
It's a 5-axis machine. And we can see all of this over here on the simulation itself. You can see this exactly with the part. Okay, all of this is right here. And I can run my simulation just as before.
So the machine simulation is part of the features that it's inside the shop floor simulator and shop floor editor.
That is correct. That is correct.
This is
and
great.
This is perfect. He sees exactly what he needs.
Yeah, you know where the tool is start, when
Exactly.
It
he sees all the positions
lead
of the
out,
parts.
everything.
Everything is seen over here. Without, I mean, in my days when I was a machinist, I would have loved to have something like this on the floor with me.
Yeah, okay. Cindy, you can add some new operations.
That's something we can't do.
Also in the shop floor editor and shop floor simulator.
That's something that's correct. We cannot do that. You see, even over here, if I right-click, I don't have even an option to do something new. Like I said, I can just view him or create G-codes.
Okay, great.
Okay, so Tzvika, could you please tell us about the machine shop's benefits working with these versions?
Of course, Sidney. So there are many. Let me tell you about the major benefits. First, preventing CNC machine and tools damages. The ability of the setup operator to see full solid simulation and machine simulation inside SolidCAM gives him the confidence which prevent unexpected crashes in case of programming mistake. Second thing, efficient work. The independence of the setup operator with the shop floor versions without the need to interact with the CAM programmer who is already busy in programming the next CAM part. That means better efficiency for the machine shop. Full setup picture. The SolidCAM shop versions give the setup operator, as we mentioned before, a full picture about tools for the job, about setup definition, about stock clamping, on position, and of course, full simulation, including the machine simulation. And last thing is improve operator skills. With SolidCAM in the shop floor department, the ability of the setup operator to improve his knowledge and to move ahead is higher. Sidney, there is an old saying said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yes, I've heard that saying.
Okay.
Okay, Tzvika, I think we got the point across very well. I would like to thank everyone for joining us. Take care and
Thank
see
you
you around.
Bye-bye. See you.